We buy toys for our children with the best of intentions. We want to make our children happy, to keep them engaged, to show them love in tangible form. But there is a creeping danger in this habit that often goes unnoticed. Too many toys are not a gift to a child. They are a burden. They overwhelm rather than enrich, and in the long run, they quietly erode the very qualities we hope to nurture in our children. The first problem is overstimulation. When children are surrounded by endless piles of toys, their young minds are constantly flooded with choices, colors, noises, and textures. Rather than creating joy, this flood creates fatigue. They move from one toy to another, unable to linger, unable to focus. Instead of wonder, they feel restless. This is why, paradoxically, children with more toys are often the quickest to complain of boredom. Their senses are exhausted by excess, and their minds struggle to settle. In fact, a well-known study from the University of Toledo found that toddlers given fewer toys played longer and in more imaginative ways than those with overflowing toy options. A reminder that more often ends up meaning less. Equally concerning is the impact of imagination and creativity. Childhood is a time when a stick can become a sword, a stone can become a treasure, a cardboard can become a tower. But when toys arrive prepackaged with fixed roles, lights, sounds, and scripted possibilities, children learn to consume play rather than to create play. The toy does the imagining for them. The child is reduced to pressing buttons and following prompts. In this way, an abundance of toys actually starves creativity instead of feeding it. There is also the effect of concentration. Play at its best teaches a child to sustain attention, to immerse themselves in a story, to solve problems in sequence. When toys compete in an endless cycle of distraction, attention is lost. A child who cannot focus in play struggles to focus in school, in conversation, even in their own thoughts. And so, when in excess, the very toys that should help prepare them for learning become an obstacle to it. Too many toys also shape our character in troubling ways. They create possessiveness. Children begin to measure happiness in terms of how much they own rather than how deeply they play. The toy box becomes a kind of private kingdom where more is always better. This mindset easily spills over into entitlement, the expectation that new things must arrive to sustain a sense of worth. Also, gratitude fades, replaced by an insatiable appetite for the next object. It is worth remembering that children's happiness does not come from abundance, but from connection and meaning. A child with 3 toys can treasure them, invent endlessly with them, and return to them with affection. A child with 30 toys cannot keep up. The result is a shallow relationship with possessions and a weakened relationship with imagination. The truth is that the richest play often emerges from the simplest resources, not the biggest, the most, or the most expensive. Parents sometimes fear that fewer toys mean deprivation, but the opposite is true. A restrained environment liberates rather than limits. It allows space for creativity, focus, gratitude, and even patience. It teaches children that joy is not purchased in volume, but discovered in depth. If you love your child, you do not need to fill their life with toys. You need to give them time, space, and just enough toys to dream. Childhood is not measured by the number of toys on the floor, but by the richness of the play in the child's mind. Fewer toys are not a loss. They are a gift. The gift of imagination, focus, gratitude, and joy that will outlast anything plastic, and battery powered. So as a parent, tell us, have you been concerned that your child is having too many or too few toys? So what has been the effect of too many toys on your child? What mistakes have you seen other parents make when it comes to toys? Share with us your experience in the comments below. Thank you for your time.